Journey upon Qui-Gon Jinn's path of peace and resilience is all about what not to do. Sorry, let's try that again. What not to do and what to do. Let's begin with not. Let's not strain to concentrate or contemplate, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. So let me set the scene. We're watching Phantom Menace, the first of the prequel trilogy. And we're watching our favorite character in the whole film, Qui-Gon Jinn. He's tall, he's old, and he is dueling Darth Maul. Darth Maul, who is full of vim and vigor, the vim and vigor of youth, and the vim and vigor of hate that flows from the dark side. And while Qui-Gon Jinn is not outmatched spiritually or intellectually, he is outmatched physically. Fortunately, he is given a break in combat due to the articulating force fields on Naboo. And he has a chance to rest, to catch his breath. What does he do? Does he assume a wide squat stance and rest each palm upon its knee and just suck air? No. Does he go into battle meditation and grow intoxicated with strategy? No. Does he try to manipulate Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul and fill him with fear or fatigue? No. See, Qui-Gon Jinn is all about harmonizing with the Force, going with the flow of the Force. And so he does not squander his time in meditation. Whoopsie, wrong button. He does not squander his time in meditation straining to concentrate or contemplate. What then does he do? He gently notices and gently releases. And I'd like to explore that in greater detail. We'll begin with mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are accessing our sympathetic nervous system, not in the brain, but in the spinal cord, specifically in the thoracic region of our rib cage. It's wired not for active concentration, but rather to simply perceive, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. As is illustrated by the 12 syllables of inhalation, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. You see, while our friend Mace Windu, who never meant a rule he didn't love, might have been very excited about repressing his thoughts and stopping his thoughts and slicing through his thoughts, our friend Qui-Gon Jinn understood that mind is playful. What does mind do? What are the antics of mind? Mind sees, hears, feels, tastes, smells, and the like. Mind also emotes, intends, reasons, recollects, and imagines. Instead of fighting that, every time Qui-Gon Jinn drew an in-breath, he would simply experience whatever was going on with great passivity and randomness. But what would he do with that which he noticed? That brings us to meditation. You see, every time that we exhale, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, also not in the brain, also in the spinal cord, but this time in both the lumbar region and the tippy top of the cervical region. Our parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to both physically relax as well as mentally release. As we see explained in the 12 syllables of exhalation, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. And this is what separates the adults from the kids. Our job is not to superstitiously grasp onto the idea that mind is literally non-graspable. Our job is not to pseudo-intellectually strive to prove that mind is literally non-graspable. Au contraire, my friends, we should have been taught in the 4th grade that not all statements are literal, that many are figurative. Some are similes, some are metaphors, some are hyperbolic. Consider this, if you will. Every time we relax, every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever we perceived during the previous inhalation can now feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast empty void. It could feel as if it was as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky in a bright and beautiful cloudless morn. Imagine you're in that situation. You've got your favorite tennis shoes on, you're standing on the grass, reaching into the sky, your fingers are splayed, you pull your fingers, you close your fingers into fists, you pull back your hands, you open them, but you don't see any blue because the sky is literally non-graspable. That is the root behind such famous Buddhist metaphors as birthlessness, selflessness, deathlessness, and emptiness. So, this whole process is not about concentration. It's about noticing gently and releasing gently. And this is illustrated quite well in the first verse of the total space of Vajrasattva, the source text of Dzogchen. The total space of Vajrasattva is the ever good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena. When we relax into our exhalation, whatever we experienced during our previous inhalation can now feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, open expanse. It could feel as if it was non-graspable as absolute spaciousness. Now imagine when you're a kid and you got in trouble and you had to stand in the corner, and that's very compressing. Your face right against the corner of the wall, very compressing. Now imagine turning around and instead facing the wide open room. How much better did that feel? That's the type of release that's available to us during every exhalation. Now remember, I told you that during his inhalation, Qui-Gon Jinn did not muck about with either concentration nor contemplation. That is explored in the second half of the verse. Being the pure total path that liberates all, it does not arise or cease. It does not think of anything. So this freedom that is available to us, it's always there. It is always as close as our next exhalation. It is primed by noticing, not by thinking, not by concentrating, just by noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, automatically. Welcome to the lazy bastard path of peace. We'll chant and meditate after about 30 or 40 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, and reverse engineering all the teachings of every sect of Buddhism, so you won't have to. I played the Yoda to your Luke Skywalker so that you can easily and quickly become the person that your dog already thinks you are. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. which is made possible due... Oopsie, wrong button. I guess it is 6, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And now, let's get it on, as I said in Celebrity Deathmatch. I found it can be fun to begin every meditation with a short chant, not a prayer to a real or imagined celestial entity, but as a way of guiding our intention, a way of exercising our neural pathways of love. We have 2 pages. The first recitation is more literal, and it's set to a triplet chant. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on thee. Buddha's example, instructions, and students. These 3 are known as, metaphorically, as the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels, and they're mentioned here. The second and final opening recitation is more figurative and more concise, and we're setting it to the bookend chant. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the 3 jewels. We've already covered the meditation instructions during the lesson. So now, together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as Yoda on Dagobah, under the guidance of the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. As we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite, relaxing the mind's non-graspable nature. And this is kind of like, this is ungainly. It's a lot of syllables. But this is like when we were kids and our primary caregiver bolted 2 training wheels to our bicycle, so we would not plummet 24 inches to our death. That's what this is like. Let's play with this for just a few minutes. And now I think it could be lovely to do a wee bit of chanting. I pay homage to the Bhagavan glorious Vajrasattva. The total space of Vajrasattva is the ever good and immense ultimate dimension of phenomena, being the pure total path that liberates all. It does not arise or cease, it does not think of anything. Being love and thus thoroughly accomplish, it does not practice great compassion. Being great through profound qualities of greatness need not be praised. Phenomena do not move the authentic condition. Since self-originating wisdom is beyond searching, in liberating itself it also shows the path of liberation. The great elements or the Bhagavan that exist by nature in all beings. However wrongly it may be conceived, liberation originates from oneself. The wisdom of greatness is difficult to find. It is realized through prajna and method. Though it could be said to depend on something else, real bliss originates from oneself. And now we remove the first of two training wheels and switch from a transition from the 12-syllable exercise to the 3-syllable exercise. Notice this, relaxing. Now remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. And of course, remember to click the send icon. The great miracle is not difficult or qualities and capabilities. Through subtle understanding of the authentic condition immediately arise from oneself. Meditation is relaxing without seeking. In the Dharmata's mastery of awareness and letting go that does not appear visibly. If one actively searches either for the Dharmata or for something in it, the natural condition will never manifest. Whoopsie. The let's take two. The supremely secret reality cannot be heard through the sense of hearing. Likewise, it cannot be expressed by the tongue, not even in the slightest. The suffering of beings is the bodhicitta or mindset of enlightenment that fully manifests while pervading all. Without ever being moved, it abides equally just as it reaches of space. That which is the equality of all distinctions is conceived by saying it is karma. Were it really under the power of karma, self-originating wisdom would not exist. Wrong button. Let's try that again. Okay, let's hit button 9. So now let's remove the second metaphoric set of training wheels and transition from the 3-syllable exercise to the standard 1-syllable exercise, our cruising altitude for this evening. By compressing things down to 1 syllable each, we're going to have to take some poetic license with the labels if we decide to use them. Physical sensations we could refer to as form. Emotional sensations we could refer to as feel. Recollection we could refer to as then. And imagining we could refer to as dream. Our go-to move is this, ease. Ease, of course, being the 1-syllable verb, which is a synonym of relax. The causes the Vajra takes you. The causes the Vajra as are the secondary conditions. Never having been born, it cannot be destroyed. Since it is the Bodhi essence that exists from the beginning, the ultimate dimension is not moved by the effort of thought. Meditative stability of supreme quality. Being real meditative stability is beyond the tyranny of thought, and this is an editing opportunity. Without applying thought or purifying in accordance with nature, from thought itself wisdom springs forth. Coining the expression gateway to the subtle, they seek the path by isolating the mind. Maintaining isolation in a secluded place. If we examine well, this conception. This is conceptual meditation. They coin the terms cause and effect. But both virtues and negativities dissolve completely. They say we will get out of this world and nurture supreme complacency and accepting and rejecting. Attachment and non-attachment are the path of words, and something in the middle is the same like an echo. Happiness and suffering have the same cause, said Vajrasattva, Lord of Beings. Attachment, anger, and ignorance arise from the path of enlightenment's total bodhi. The five sense objects of enjoyment too are said to be the ornament of the Dharmadhata dimension. Space is beyond the arising of thought, and thought itself is like space. Without attachment from space dedication, one's great aim manifests as space. This is really huge. Without dedicating, without saying, oh, I want this and I want that, just by noticing and releasing, everything takes care of itself. This passive manifesting is known as the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. Thought-we equality is the Dharmakaya mastery of awareness and letting go. Like the moon's reflection in water, it cannot be grasped. Through the energy manifestation of Samantha Mantra, the Alikali or vowels and consonants are profoundly displayed. Through the on the beautiful Ta, the Pa and the emanated branches, in the sphere of experience of the whole world, the profound voice of the Buddha, the profound voice of the Buddha arises. Wonderful, the sphere of experience of the Buddhas is not a place to be found by searching. And like the phenomena of the six senses, it is also not an object we should grasp after. Those who search for it are like the blind search reaching for the sky. The gradual path of purity that is higher and higher does not correspond to the nature behind action. Were there really a path to tread just like the bounds of the sky, one would never arrive. The authentic condition being thus by being shown as it is attained. As it is the very essence, its manifestation arises from it, oh how marvelous. Time past and time present are the authentic condition that is complete in its own place. Likewise, its path is the same, this is the very nature. The universal path that is the same as that is like the moon in the basis of its reflection. As it is the absolute equality of all, it is not realized with a limited view. Present bliss and later bliss are what is directly experienced and what ensues from it. Since they imply the defect of an aspect, one should not rely on them. The three terms are one without distinction, without past or future, would exist from the beginning, since all pervaded by the Dharmakaya. That is the mastery of awareness and release is the same. It abides in nature's total greatness. Aha. Let's see, I'm going to seize upon this editing opportunity. Finding oneself in the three realms of existence, all is just a name and a magical illusion. Even the great status of a Chakravartin universal king, being a magical illusion, is an abode to purify. For those whose attitude depends on time, it does not manifest in time. If one practices with an aspiration without being free, the saying of the characteristic of emptiness applies. One of my Vietnamese teachers used to scold me, "Oh, you're so greedy for enlightenment." It is when totally beyond an aspect, the yogi dwells in the pathways of birds in the sky, in the essence that never occurred and never originated, where all phenomena are supposed to exist. Outer and inner, or both the outer as the inner. The profound is not an object of understanding, not even a part of it. Existence is only a name, the power of mistaken existence. Thus one remains separate from the quality of meditation. Aha. Here we go. In the outer and inner Samayoso commitments to rely upon our teachers, example, instructions, and students. Abide in the nature of the aggregates of all feeling of praise and impulse and awareness. And sense bases of seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, emoting, intending, cognizing, recalling, and imagining. Since in the three times no one is ever separate from it, there is no need to ever use the word samaya. Immovable, it is the symbol of the body, unshakable, it is wisdom. Not taking hold of anything, it has no self. Not rejecting anything, it is the equality that transcends words. Notwithstanding what, whose, and where, all that one uses and enjoys arises from oneself. Here of males and females, the king of equality has never spoken. There is no mention of something to accomplish by means of resolute, forceful conduct, but it is deemed that possessing the the magical the bliss of magical illusion arises. Since nature cannot be defined in one single way, it appears according to how one looks at it. Even the bliss from the effort and wish for its manifestation is a great hindrance and defect. In all the secondary methods for Bodhi enlightenment, one meditates on the attributes of a tantric archetype like the moon's reflection on water. But even if something untainted and unattached results, such meditation is like the sphere of experience of an ordinary person. Although by identifying with the body of the great wrathful one archetype, with its body wrathful grimaces as well as attributes, with even the suitable concretely actualized, the authentic condition of the quiescent state is not seen. Just as the top of a palm tree is caught by, just as a seed is burned by fire, likewise the dominion of powerful emotions may be prevented, as some have taught. All the hundreds and thousands of methods, according to what one practices, bear the specific fruit. But since enlightenment is beyond conceptual characteristics, it is not manifest from these abodes. Good fortune has a yogi who abides in this indescribable state. For by not discriminating between self and others, the magical illusion of self-perfection manifests. As nothing is occluded, it is perfectly complete. It is unchanging and remains straight. Boundless like space, it is not a phenomena that depends on something else. The spontaneously existing total bliss arises from one's recognition, and through the very power of incomparable wisdom. Reality does not originate from anything else. It is easy and difficult. It is difficult because it is easy. It does not manifest directly, but is all-pervading. Not even Vajrasattva can point it out with a name, saying this is it. This amazing, marvelous energy manifestation is beyond action and equal to space. From the ignorance that does not conceptualize anything, it immediately arises within oneself. This is the path equal for all, that naturally abides in all beings. But since ordinary people are deluded due to defilement, it is like when the doctor has to find the medicine. In the domain of understanding is total bliss. That itself is like the utterly pure land of Anti. When lights concentrate from all sides, the four directions, the intermediate ones, and the above and below are produced. From the indefinite colors of the rainbow, the features of the five Buddha families manifestly appear. And likewise the moving particles and unmoving environment, but it is superior to the five elements. It is not but in the designations of past, future, and present. Understanding that it has no arising nor ceasing, that itself is the integration of the three times in the total state. Being equal, there is nothing to arrange gradually. Being one, it is beyond dedicating something in a direction. Although the ornaments of accumulated offerings are arrayed, since they exist by nature, there is nothing to array. Being spontaneously present is beyond dedicating. Pure from the beginning, it is nectar. The 12 sense bases are not to be particularly focused on with special intention. The intention of the mind, the donor, arrays all through the power of perception. In the city, accomplishment that arises from having seen balanced meditation is perfected. Keeping it for an instant is union. Experiencing pleasure is samaya. Performing the dance of movements of method. The union of non-duality is often. Giving without holding is the dharma cake offering. Being beyond action, all activities are completed. Since the conceptual wisdom eliminates obstructors, balanced meditation without speaking is the mantra. making offerings to the Guru generosity and all the other meritorious deeds. Without the power of detachment and imperturbability become a great bondage. But not in the fun, tingly way. Therefore, that which is expressed as this teaching becomes obscured when one tries to act towards it. Being thus, if it is conceptualized, it will never be realized. let's seal this evening's practice with a bit of the old chanting, beginning with kind ethics and concluding with the four immeasurables. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 or so hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.